Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, January 29th, 2019. Has this meeting been properly noticed?
Yes, it has.
Please call the roll.
Carlin?
Here.
Eliason? Evans?
Here.
Garner?
Here.
Herzog?
Here.
Olmsted?
Here.
Peschel?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. As many of you are aware, the board ordinarily meets on a Wednesday evening. However, we are in some unusual circumstances, ones that the media would say are a once in a generation, if not once in a lifetime, which may be the same. But with the unusually cold and inclement weather conditions, we changed this meeting from its normal January 30th Wednesday to tonight on Tuesday, anticipating that the weather conditions may be less favorable tomorrow night than they are today. So I wanted to thank our superintendent, Dr. Vicki Cartwright, for her vigilance and diligence in monitoring the weather conditions to provide for the safety of not only our children, our students, but also their families and our staff members. So Dr. Cartwright, I thank you for that. And we are in very unusual conditions in that most of the state appears to have canceled school and other events for Wednesday. So again, that's why we're meeting on a Tuesday evening. We do not have a superintendent's report this evening, but we will be moving into that the next time we meet. Similarly, we did not move forward with having students come out on this cold night to lead us in the pledge. Ordinarily, we would do that, but I would suggest that we find an opportunity for the 4 students who had volunteered to lead us in the pledge to do that at a future meeting so that we honor their participation. Are there any committee reports that we have tonight from any of the board committees?
I do. I have 2.
Okay.
The first one was the minutes of policy and governance meeting. I stood in and chaired this meeting for Mr. Peschel. And there was nothing for the public forum, but then the agenda items, we went through quite a few of the new board policies or revised board policies and updated board policies. There are quite a few, and those we are all voting on tonight, so I'm sure you've all looked at them, that I don't have to read all of these. And then that was it. They were all board policies. Next meeting is Monday, February 11th at 8:30.
Very good. Thank
And
you,
then,
Mrs. Olmsted.
thank you. The next meeting was Facility and Finance Committee, met on January 19th. We had our audit review come in of the school district, and we used Schenck to do that. They went through the entire financial report with us. There was no issues with internal controls. There was no concerns overall. It was a really strong audit. Said there was nothing, no red flags, no nothing. Went really well. We had a written budget variance report. There was no questions on it. We went through the bills payable process. The process for bills payable is changing, and that bills payable list will be part of the board packet. Usually we do it once a month, and we get that so close to the day of our board board meetings that we don't have enough time to read them and look them over. And I know there was a few people on the board that had asked that we get it earlier. So the goal is to try to hold all invoices for payment until the board packet, but some invoices are paid at the beginning of the month. For example, utilities, conference registration fees, etc., because of the due dates. If the business office is forced to close off the deadline a week earlier and the vendors now have to wait, it was noted that there might be more vendors paid at the first part of the month because of the missed deadline. Mrs. Schnorr indicated this would be not a violation of the law. And districts do this all the time because there are just some things that have to be paid. So the board finds the summary of the 5 to 6 largest bills payables to be helpful. Oh, she's doing a summary now, and we decided that was very helpful. Then we discussed VANCO fees, which are fees for credit cards. Mrs. Schnorr distributed a document analyzing the credit card collections and the costs, like any other business, which you have a cost for every transaction you have with your credit cards. The district started accepting credit cards in the school year of 2015-16 and is currently piloting scanners where fees can be paid with a credit card directly within the school. So in the offices, they're going to put scanners. This will increase fees and transactions that fall on the credit cards. So it was recommended to implement a percentage of the fee over a flat fee. So currently the district assesses a $1.50 credit card fee regardless of the amount that's charged. The district's credit card cost is 4.35%. Last year, the district paid $53,000 in fines and collected $27,000 fees. Paid $53,000 in fees, not fines, and collected $27,000. The recommendation of the business office is to increase the fee to 3% over the $1.50. The committee wanted to know if the district is collecting more funds by allowing the use of credit cards, and did the collection rates go up? This has not been analyzed. It was felt that the credit cards would be better for the district in the long term. All fees are run through Infinite Campus. The committee agreed with charging the 3% fee. The district still will lose $16,000 for these fees. The committee would like to revisit in a year to check on the trends of on the bottom line, and is suggested to start implementation for the next fiscal year. This does not need to come to the board for any kind of voting. Some other things about that too was if just because we have the fees and because we have the credit cards does not mean parents have to pay that way. They can choose still to pay with a check, so they don't have to pay that fee. When you go online, you have to pay the fees, or if you go into school, you have to pay the fees. The district is incurring quite a bit of, debt with these, not debt, but quite a bit of money we're losing because of these fees. But we also recognize that it's a good, we have to have accessibility to pay, fees and pay things with a credit card or a debit card. But parents still can send checks in with their students or stop in and drop those checks off themselves. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Olmsted. Are there any other committee reports tonight?
There is. I have the Administrator Compensation Committee minutes that met on January 14th. And it was a well-attended meeting. There were 16 people there. The first thing we discussed was the vacation issue, snow days, and all three things were vacation issue, snow days, and market analysis for CPI. The board was updated on administrative vacation days at the last meeting. The committee talked about the number of days administrators received. Currently, Oshkosh Area School District allows 25 days for secondary central office administrators and 35 days for elementary administrators. There are two options that were discussed with regard to vacation usage. Number one, the existing option of giving administrators an additional 30-day window in July to use up vacation before losing any over the 5-day allowable carryover. Or two, allowing a 10-day carryover to be used throughout the year. It was noted that when the current practice of allowing an additional month to use vacation was implemented, it was a year when administrators' salaries were frozen. There was a non-monetary way to assist administrators. There was also a conscious effort made to not schedule a lot of things in July. After some discussion, it was determined to keep the current practice in place. However, it needs to be clearly communicated to all groups entitled to vacation. That it is permissible to take vacation throughout the month of June to avoid the possibility of losing vacation days. With regard to snow days, in looking at comparable districts, there is no firm policy in place. Some districts allow administrators to work from home and some do not. The committee discussed what the practice should be for the Oshkosh Area School District. It is important to note that if road conditions are dangerous enough to call off schools, which is what we're dealing with now, it would be prudent for the district to minimize the number of people on the roads. The recommendation was to give administrators permission to work from home in this scenario or to use a vacation day. Regarding the market analysis, as a member of CISA 6, Human Resource Directors were requested to share input and a spreadsheet for all staff regarding salaries, and access to survey information was given to all participating districts. Districts utilized for comparisons were selected, and average annual salaries for principals were shared. There was a suggestion to include neighboring districts, particularly Winner County and Menasha, since this data would be helpful to the board. It would also be helpful for the board to have updated data similar to what was shared during the most recent referendum in the form of a graph showing administrator salaries over time. Next steps include bringing back information to gain a clearer picture of the salary range. Once the additional data is obtained, the topic of market analysis will be brought back to the committee for further discussion and review. Our next meeting is scheduled for March 18th at 7:30 in the morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evans. Are there any other reports? Moving on, is there anyone who would like to address the board on a non-agenda related item? Seeing none, is there anyone who would like to address the board on an agenda related item? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent resolution agenda. For the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed it at a previous meeting. These will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled out of the consent agenda and will be voted on separately. The only one I'm aware of right now that would be pulled is item 6B, retirements. Is there any other resolution that anyone wishes to pull? Okay, seeing none. Be it resolved that the Oshkosh Area School District consider approval of 1, minutes of December 19th, 2018, regular board meeting. Number 2, minutes of January 9th, 2019, regular board meeting. Number 3, minutes of January 9th, 2019, executive session, regular board meeting. Number 4, minutes of January 16th, 2019, executive session, special board meeting. Number 5, bills payable. Number 6, Personnel A, appointments, temporary appointments, resignations, and salaries. 6C, personnel administrator contracts. Number 7, Neola policy updates. A, 0144.1 compensation. B, 0161 parliamentary authority. C, 0164.2 special meetings. D, 0165.3 special meetings. E, 1213 student supervision and welfare. F, 1422 non-discrimination and equal employment opportunity. G, 3122 non-discrimination and equal employment opportunity. H, 4122 non-discrimination and equal employment opportunity. I, 1460 physical examination. J, 3160 physical examination. Letter K, 4160 physical examination. Letter L, 3139 staff discipline. Letter M, 4139 staff discipline. Letter N, 1461 unrequested leaves of absence / fitness for duty. Letter O, 1623, Section 504/ADA prohibition against disability discrimination in employment. Letter P, 1630.01, family and medical leave of absence, FMLA. Letter Q, 3430.01, family and medical leave of absence, FMLA. Letter R, 4430.01, family and medical leave of absence, FMLA. Letter S, 2131, educational goals and expectations. Letter T, 2270, religion in the curriculum. Letter U, 2271, early college credit program. Letter V, 2271.01, start college now program. Letter W, 2412, homebound instruction program. Letter X, 2461, recording of IEP team meetings. Letter Y, 3120, employment of professional staff. Letter Z, 3120.04, employment of teacher substitutes. Letters AA, 3230, conflict of interest, and B, 4230, conflict of interest. Number 8, 2019 to 2020 open enrollment space availability. Number 9, Oshkosh West High School participation in a varsity baseball game on Sunday, April 14th, 2019 at Fox City Stadium in Appleton. And number 10, 2019 summer school program plan.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Garner.
Aye.
Garner, aye. Herzog.
Aye.
Herzog, aye. Olmsted.
Aye.
Olmsted, aye. Peschel.
Aye.
Peschel, aye. Carlin.
Aye.
Carlin, aye. Eliason. Evans.
Aye.
Evans, aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Then going back to Resolution 6B, be it resolved that the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education approve the retirements as filed with the Secretary to the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. The reason for pulling this one was, again, to recognize 3 individuals who have dedicated years to making this a better district and better for our students and their families. We have 3 retirements tonight. Gregory Longcow, maintenance craftsman 2, who has served the entire district since 1985. So Greg has served this district well for over 33 years. Deborah Model, an ID teacher at Oshkosh North High School, who has served the district since 1996, so approximately 24 years. And finally, Ellen Scoten, a cross-categorical teacher assistant at Franklin Elementary School, who has served this district well for 7 years. We want to thank all of these people for their dedicated service to our district, for making it an even better place, and for the contributions they've made to student success and growth in our district. So we wish them all well in their next phase of life. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Herzog.
Yes.
Herzog, aye. Olmsted.
Aye.
Olmsted, aye. Peschel.
Aye.
Peschel, aye. Carlin.
Aye.
Carlin, aye. Eliason. Evans.
Aye.
Evans, aye. Garner.
Aye.
Garner, aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Moving on then, are there any individually considered resolutions for this evening? Seeing none, is there a request for future agenda items? Mrs. Carlin.
We talked about adding to the agenda a summary of our learnings from last week. Is that something that we would need to formally
Absolutely.
add, or, okay?
There were 3 board members, along with Superintendent Carlin, excuse me, Superintendent.
Got a promotion?
Yeah, right? Whoa.
I didn't know if you were all listening. Superintendent Cartwright, who attended the joint meeting of the Wisconsin Association of School Boards, the Wisconsin Association of School Business Officials, and the Wisconsin Association of School District Administrators in Milwaukee. We all attended sessions. We learned a lot, and we would like to be able to share some of our learnings with our fellow board members and the public. So we'll make sure that that gets on a future agenda item.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other future agenda item requests? All right, seeing none, then we will move on. Does anyone have an announcement this evening?
I guess I'd like to maybe bring this up for the announcements.
Absolutely.
Dr. Eric, who has a skate club, amongst other things, in Oshkosh, he has made stickers and buttons, and they say Owen's Heart for Adventure. It's a picture of Owen Eliason, who many of you know is now fighting for his life in the hospital down at Freighter in Milwaukee. And so all of the proceeds from the sales of these stickers and buttons will go directly to Owen. Dr. Eric has lots of them. I have them. We're going to try and put them out at schools, at the YMCA, maybe in doctor's offices or wherever. So if you're interested, you can contact me. I have some, and then I can also get you in touch with Dr. Eric if you'd like more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Garner.
Mhm.
I'm sure that that will be appreciated by Owen and his family.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other announcements? Dr. Cartwright, I believe you have one.
Just a reminder that during the week of February the 11th, so the 11th through the 15th,
Oshkosh for Education has set up community forums. This is related to our strategic plan and inviting our community as a whole in order to come out and provide input to us about the goals and things that they would like to see the district moving towards as we revise our current strategic plan. For those who are not able to make the face-to-face meetings, we're also making available an online survey that will run also that same week from February the 11th through the 18th. That survey will be available. Additional information will be available on the district website. So that way, if you would like to know location and times for the face-to-face, or if you would like to access the online survey, you will be able to access it from that site as well.
Very good, thank you very much. I just wanted to comment, again, in terms of our change in meeting day because of the weather, and the need to vote on a couple of items tonight that have a specific legal timeline. They had to be voted on by the end of January, so it was imperative that we schedule a meeting before that time so that we were in compliance with state law. And I'm delighted that this meeting is being taped and will be available for broadcast for the citizens who maybe weren't aware of the change in date. And once again, I want to thank Dr. Cartwright for her diligence and vigilance in keeping an eye on weather conditions with the number one concern, the safety of our students, their families, and our staff members. So thank you again, Dr. Cartwright.
Thank you.
With that then, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session. Executive session 1, considering the disciplinary data of specific persons under statute 19.85 paren 1 paren F. A, review expulsion recommendation from expulsion hearing officer for a high school student who engaged in conduct while at school or while under the supervision of a school authority which endangered the property, health, or safety of others, and endangered the property, health, or safety of any employee or school board member of the school district in which the pupil is enrolled, and engaged in conduct constituting repeated refusal or neglect to obey the rules under Wisconsin Statute 120.13, paren 1, paren C, paren E.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you very much. Please call the roll.
Olmsted.
Aye.
Olmsted, aye. Peschel.
Aye.
Peschel, aye. Carlin.
Aye.
Carlin, aye. Eliason. Evans.
Aye.
Evans, aye. Garner.
Aye.
Garner, aye. Herzog.
Aye.
Herzog, aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. And with that, we are adjourned.
Are we moving?